All right, finishing up with the 60-degree angles. So the following angles have a reference angle of 60 degrees. 60 degrees, 120 degrees, 240 degrees, and 300 degrees. Okay, so we just need to convert these angle measures into radians, and we're going to use the same, I guess we can call an algorithm because it's a certain step. So I set up the proportion of 60 divided by 180 because that's how many degrees I have for like my reference. I don't know how many radians they are, but I know that 180 degrees is the same as pi radians. So 60 divided by 180, though that's just 1/3, is equal to r over pi. Multiply both sides by pi. Pi's cancel out, so this one is just pi over 3. And if I substitute the 60 with the 120, let's talk about how my answer changes. 120, so that's 2/3, so this one comes out to 2 pi over 3. Change the 120 to 240 will produce a 4. So now that's 4 pi over 3. And you can kind of guess what's going to happen when I change it to 300. That's a terrible 300. And there's that. So I'm going to pause the video. Cut. See, jump cut. So we have like all but 4 angles in this circle accounted for. I have all the reference angles that deal with 30 degrees here in the yellow. I have all the reference angles, or all the angles that have a reference angle of 45, also known as pi over 4, and I have all the reference angles and angles that have a reference angle of 60 right there, also known as pi over 3. It's in your best interest to think about patterns that will help you know the connection between each of these degrees with their equivalent radian measure, because we're going to move more and more towards radians, so you should be more familiar with them. Try to find patterns to help you see it. And I need to make one quick modification because that did not look right. Still doesn't. 7 pi over 6. Better. All right. The only angles I didn't take into account, well, technically I didn't give you 2 of them, were we didn't talk about 90, 180, 270, and 360. So I leave that up to you. These angles right here in the black, figure out what their radian measure should be. Think about ways to help you know the connection between the radians and the angles, right? Let's start there, and then we'll talk about, then we'll revisit coterminal angles.